Hey, what's going on, guys? Kyle here, and I wanted to go over with you today, real quickly, the top 10 things that you need to do when you first join eXp Realty. So I'm going to share my screen here because some of these things I want to go step by step with you so you can see how to do it. So that way you can get started as quickly as possible with eXp. So without further ado, let me jump right in and just start off by saying the first thing that I think everybody, every agent that's with eXp needs to do is be able to log into your eXp Enterprise dashboard. So you should have gotten emailed your username and password for Enterprise. You go to expenterprise.com and you'll see a screen that looks like this. You click sign into Enterprise and then it's going to put a login form for your username and password. I've already logged in, so you can see here, this is what it looks like once you first log in. So make sure you can get into eXp Enterprise as step number one, or as the first thing you need to do as a new eXp agent. Once you've done that, and these are in no particular order necessarily after this point, but one of the first things that I would say you'd want to do is to check the education calendar right here for when the next eXp agent orientation is going to take place. Typically, these take place every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Central Time and every Thursday at 2 o'clock Central Time. So if you click on the event calendar, you come over here, you can see here's Wednesday, and sure enough, we've got one today at 4 o'clock Central. All of these times here are Pacific time. So, just figure out what time zone you're in. You can actually click it here, make sure where it's going to take place. So like the next one here is in the auditorium inside of the eXpWorld, and it takes place from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock Pacific time. So 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock Central time. And that's for Wednesday. And then we also got another one on Thursday at 12 o'clock Pacific time. So 2 o'clock Central time. Same thing, eXp agent orientation inside of the auditorium. Make sure to take that. That's going to explain a lot of the things that you're going to need to do getting set up. Some of them will be what we're talking about today, but it's always good to just make sure that you don't miss any steps. So definitely take the agent orientation. The next thing that you're going to want to do is to set up your kvCORE. So let's go back over to our enterprise dashboard. And what you're going to see here is on the left-hand side, optional services. Click on that. You're going to see kvCORE. I've already requested my access, but if you've not yet done it, there'll be a little button here where you can request your access and set it up that way. It does say that it takes 7 to 10 days. I've seen it go a little bit faster than that, but that is, again, one of the first things that you're wanting to get started, so that way you get that countdown in motion and can get your website up as quickly as possible. And just to give you an idea, like when you get that kvCORE website, it's going to look a lot like this. I'll show you here. It should just be your first and last name .exprealty.com. Of course, if there's already an agent with your same name, it might be a little bit different, but you'll see here, and it is definitely customizable. Once you get access to this, you can kind of change around some things like the background, your profile picture, of course. It's going to link up to your MLS. So of course you do need to already be a member of the MLS that you're going to be a part of in your area. But then you can see here, it's tied into all the listings in that MLS. You can actually add testimonials, and there's trainings that you can take for kvCORE, which I'm actually going to get into here in a little bit, that shows you how to edit all of these things. But just realize these are things that you can do. You can put a little about section for yourself. You can even do blog posts on them. So all that stuff we'll kind of cover, but you'll see here, that is what your website will look like once you request access to that kvCORE. So next, as far as kvCORE goes, I do want to show you where you can access those trainings at. So again, this is your front end website, but you're also, once it's all set up, you're going to get access to this back end website here, which is where all of your leads and your database and all of that stuff is hosted. And so what you're going to see here, again, this is my account. It's going to be a login and password that you're going to get once the access is granted for this. But you'll see here down in the very bottom left, I don't know if you can see it because of my picture here, but you look here where it says Learning Portal. You're going to want to click that and let that open. And from in there, you're going to see that we've got many different courses for you to take. Of course, start with the core quick start, but then take kvCORE Property Boost, take the social media posting protocol, and then inside real estate pay-per-click advertising tour, and then the WordPress plugin. If you do all of those courses, you will be a pro at kvCORE in no time. You don't have to wait to take these. You can literally just, click on them and then click here to get started on that course. And it's going to take you through all the different steps that you need to go through so you can get your kvCORE up and running and start generating leads from this website right away. So that is definitely one of the first things I would recommend you do. Make sure to set it up as quickly as possible because there is a turnaround time, and then make sure you start taking the classes as quickly as possible as well. So then next, what we're going to have is Facebook Workplace, and I want to show you kind of how that works and how you get access to that. These are all going to be using your same enterprise login that you got. So it should be your first and last name at eXpRealty.com, and then whatever password they set you up with. But if you want to get into the Facebook Workplace, you're going to come down here. You'll see eXp Social Media. You're going to see Workplace Login. You click onto that. You can actually bookmark this site, eXpRealty.facebook.com. It's probably going to have you log in the first time, put your username and password, and then it's going to just be a blank slate. You'll see the feed and everything, but you're not going to have all these groups. You're not going to have, probably your profile completely set up. So a couple of the things that I recommend you do to get started is, of course, to set up your profile. You go in, you can come in here, update your profile picture. You can actually update your cover photo. You can click on edit profile right here and just make sure that all of this information is accurate and what you want it to say. You can edit this little about section right here. And this is all important because these are how other eXp agents across the country are going to find you and see if you're an agent that they want to send referrals to, all of that good stuff. So, make sure this information is accurate and in here. So once you've done that and you've set up your profile, there's a couple groups that I recommend you join. So I think eXp is already going to set you up with a few groups automatically, like the announcements groups and maybe a few others. But for the most part, there's a couple that I think that you should request access to because they're very helpful for us as eXp agents. And so those groups, you can see, I'll just go ahead and point them out, is the water cooler chat, which is, I've got it because I was just in it right here, water cooler chat. That's probably one of the most active groups that I see. What's really cool about this group is you can come in here, and this is what I always recommend you start with as far as if you have questions. Come up here, click on water cooler chat, go into the top right where you see search this group, and whatever question you have, just type in a couple of the keywords that are applicable for that search or for that question, and search the group and see if that question's already been asked before and answered. And then if it hasn't, feel free to just ask the question right here. Yes, you have a sponsor. Yes, you might know other agents, but I tell you what, these people in this group, there's thousands of agents in this group. We've got, I think, over 7,600 members. So you're going to get a much quicker response, typically asking questions in this water cooler chat. So that's always the first place I recommend you start, is by searching to see if the question's already been asked. And then if it hasn't, just posting your question in there and see where that goes. So of course, the water cooler chat is the first one. Always search for your state group. So for instance, I'm in Texas, so I'm part of the Texas state group. And you can of course join these groups by just typing in the search at the very top, water cooler chat. You're going to see here eXp water cooler chat. If you're not already a part of it, it's going to say join group, and that's how you would join that. Same thing for your state group. So if I was in let's just say Atlanta, right, I could search Atlanta state group. Oops, well, not the state, Georgia, the Georgia state group. There we go. And you'd search for Georgia state group, click on that, click on join group. Typically, the brokers of that state will make sure that you're a member of that state before accepting you in there. But it just takes, usually a day or two, and then you should be able to join in. So definitely join your state group. Those are good for like state-specific questions that you might have that aren't necessarily eXp specific. And then a couple of the other groups that I recommend are the kvCORE discussion group. That's where you can go and ask any types of kvCORE questions. We also are a part of the Real Estate 101 group. That's a really helpful group, especially for newer agents. Jonathan Dupree hosts this group, and you can see there it's really good stuff, books that people are reading, affirmations, trainings. I mean, just everything you could imagine in here. It's a really, really good group to join. I think he's got 4,400 members and growing. So that's a really good community of agents. And then, of course, one of the most important ones, the eXp Referral Network. So make sure you join this group. I think we've got 9,400 members in this one. And you'll see here there's constantly referrals being posted up. So you just kind of monitor this group and see if there's any referrals in your area that are being posted. You can see here, usually there's 4 or 5 referrals posted every hour is what I see. So it's a pretty happening spot. So just monitor that and check that out. So one of the last ones that I want to point out too is the Brent Gove organization. This is a great one. This Brent's always helping agents across the country, doing presentations and lunch and learns and things like that. And if you monitor this group, you'll see here that there's always posts in there about where his next presentation's at or where other people's presentations are going to be at. So there's just always helpful information in there. So definitely recommend those groups. Then also there's a few people that I would recommend that you follow. So it's just like Facebook where you can send friend requests, except with Workplace, it's a little bit different. In here, you're going to follow people. So for instance, Tom Truong's a good buddy of mine. And in here, he's a great person on Facebook Workplace to follow. You'd come in here and you can follow him. That way, whenever he makes a post, you're going to see his posts on your news feed. And so you can click in here and you can actually see, he just had a great post about lunch and learns and etiquette for that. Great posts there. But a few of the other people that I recommend is Sam Rodriguez, Brad Anderson, Julie Nelson, Hank Avink, Gabe LeBeau, Brent Gove, Pat Hayes, Jay Kinder, Elizabeth Riley, Gene Frederick, Traci Lewis, Scott Lewis, Kirtus Dixon, and myself. That way, if you just follow us, you should start to see, more and more posts on your news feed that are applicable. And of course, follow anybody else that you see. Dave Conrad is also a good person to follow as well. So anyways, let's see, moving on. The next part of this, the next thing, and this is number 5, is request your business cards and yard signs. So again, with eXp, you're going to get your first 1,000 business cards included absolutely free. Now you're going to go to, again, your eXp Enterprise dashboard, come on down to where it says eXp Brand and Marketing Resources, and where you see the eXp Cloud, click on Order Business Cards. So if you click on that, it's going to open this up, and you can see business cards right here. Click on that. It's going to give you instructions on how to order those first 1,000 business cards. So of course it's at houseofmagnets.com. It says market centers, eXp logo, and then just again, use the template that you want. Use your unique voucher code, which is in the email, the welcome email that eXp sent to you. So that way you get those for free. And that's how you do your business cards. And then as far as your yard signs, eXp has a vendor, Oakley Signs and Graphic Shops. I actually use somebody different. I found they were a little bit less expensive. I just Google, if you Google build a sign space eXp, you're going to see right here, you click on this one that says eXp Realty / build a sign. You click on that, and now you can shop your signs. You can shop riders, directionals, anything you need. But if you just click on shop signs, there's a couple different templates that you can use. And just, you got to upload, your headshot if that's what you want on there, or just a generic here with your name and your phone number, your website, and all of that good stuff. Now, the one thing that's important too that I will say, if you do want like your website on your signs or on your business cards, is you're going to want to wait till you get that kvCORE access, so you know what your URL is for your kvCORE website. Like I was telling you, mine is kylehandy.exprealty.com. Yours should be that. But in case there's already an agent with that name, they're going to change it. So you might not want to go out and start, ordering your business cards and your yard signs with all that information unless you know that that's what your URL is. The other thing you can do is there is a training that teaches you how to create a custom URL and have that point to your kvCORE website. So for instance, if I had kylehandy.com, that was my website, I could actually point that to whatever URL eXp Realty assigns me. That way, as long as I already own that URL, I can create my business cards and my yard signs and put whatever URL I want on there. And then just whenever I get my kvCORE website, I can set up the forward to go to that kvCORE website no matter whatever it is. So that would be another option. If you already own a domain or you want to go purchase a domain at like GoDaddy.com, just make sure it's available and go buy it. And then once you get your kvCORE website, you can just point that domain to that kvCORE website. So when people go to kylehandy.com or whatever it is that you set up, they're going to get pointed and forwarded to your kvCORE website. So that would be another option. So let's see, moving on, we've got the next one, and this is number 6. I would recommend you change all of your social media profiles. So go to Facebook, go to LinkedIn, go to Twitter, go to your Instagram, make sure that any old brokerage or any old information on there is updated. Now is a great time to go and make sure all your bios are what they need to be. All your contact information is what it needs to be. But just make sure all your social media profiles are updated to reflect that eXp Realty is now your broker. Now, you'd be so surprised at how many agents I look up either on LinkedIn or on Facebook or whatever. It is still, I know they're an eXp agent, but their profile still says another brokerage on it. So just make sure that you update those. And then also it's a good time. I mean, that's a great time to make an announcement that you are now with eXp Realty. That's, one of the best things you can do when you first sign up is just talk about how excited you are to be joining this company and put it out there for all of your friends on Facebook and social media sites to see. So next, number 7, I want to make sure that everybody can install and utilize the eXpWorld. So basically up in your enterprise dashboard, if you click on eXpWorld, you're going to get transported to this page. Depending on if you're Mac or PC, you're going to download it, install it on your computer, and make sure you can log in. It has instructions down below on how to do it. And there are some people that have had troubles depending on what updates and stuff that their computer has. If you do run into questions, definitely go and send a message to support. It can take a little while. They do have a lot of tickets in there already, but I would do that. And then I would go into the eXpWorld, or I'm sorry, the eXp Facebook workplace and go into the, again, water cooler chat and just post up what questions you're having or search and see if somebody's already had that issue and can help fix it right then and there. Because if you have to wait for support, it might be a little bit longer. But if you can post it up and get an answer right back, it might go a little bit faster for you. So make sure you can get into the cloud office because, again, that's how you're going to get into that agent orientation, which, again, is one of the first things that I said you need to do. So make sure you can have access to the eXpWorld so you can go to that agent orientation. And then it's also going to be important for you to do this next step, which is this next thing, which is number 8, and that is to regularly attend weekly meetings. And there's a bunch of weekly things that you can do at eXp, but I'm going to sum it up to the 3 that I think are the most important for you to attend. And that would be, I'll go over here to the education calendar so I can point them out. But on Fridays at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time in the morning, 10 a.m., we have our leadership meeting every single Friday. And even though it says leadership meeting, that's for all agents, even brand new agents at eXp. That just means that the leadership of our company goes up on the stage in the eXpWorld auditorium every week. And they talk about new things, new developments that are happening within eXp. They have best practices. They have testimonials from agents that have recently moved over. There's at that leadership meeting. And again, that's every Friday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Central Time. It lasts for about 1 hour. And then what I recommend is you just stay in the auditorium because the next training is number 2. The second one that I want to point out that is one that I think you should attend, and that's the iConversations. Again, this one lasts about 1 hour. It's in the auditorium right after the leadership meeting. But what it is basically every week, eXp identifies 3 icon agents that they want up on stage to go in and talk about their business, talk about what they're using as far as tools and technology, resources, things like that, to grow their business. And so there's always a host or a moderator that's asking the questions, and then the 3 icon agents are answering those questions. And again, an icon agent is somebody around the country with eXp that's doing production at a very, very high level. So you're going to want to pay attention to what they have to say and what they're doing in their business. So that's really cool there. And then one of the other ones that I just want to point out is every Sunday night at 6 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Central, we've got Real Estate 101 in the auditorium. Jonathan Dupree always puts on a great training. I recommend highly that you attend those. It's kind of a different day, Sunday night. So if you don't have anything going on that evening, it's always a great time to just go jump into the auditorium on your computer and get some great training. And even though it says 101, Jonathan actually goes over some pretty advanced stuff in there as well. A lot of it geared towards lead generation and growing your real estate sales business. So definitely check that one out. Number 9, you want to request your Regus information, your Regus membership. And I've got a link here, and I'll just share with you guys what it is right here. It's https expcloud.com/Regus office locations. And you'll see here, just like that, you go here, and it's going to give you instructions on how to request your free access to the Regus business lounges worldwide. And so one of the things that you're going to need to do is complete the Regus participation form. This is an online e-sign form that you do. You just click on it here. I've already done it, so I don't know if it's going to let me do it again. It looks like it will. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you can see here, you're just going to type in your name. You're going to type in your eXp email. And then down here, type in your name again. And then down here, you're going to have to sign. You click on here, just draw out your signature, however you want to do it. All right, say apply, put your phone number in, put your mailing address, city, state, and zip code, and then you can say submit signature. You're going to have to verify it. They're going to send you an email that you'll click on. Once you get that email, it usually takes a couple seconds to get it. Click on the email just to verify as a second step, and then it's done. It's submitted. And it does say that it takes roughly 3 to 5 business days for Regus to process your membership. So again, it's a good one to just get started right away, so that way you have access. It gives you, they call it like a white card, I think is what it is. Yeah, you get your white card, which is going to give you that access to those Regus business locations across the world. So whether you have them in your location, or maybe you're traveling and you want to go to an office, you can use those free shared workspaces at no additional cost with this white card. You can also book like private conferences, private meeting rooms for a little bit extra. I think I just rented one the other day for an hour and a half, and it ran me about $40. Very nice office, with a window and a TV you can hook your laptop into. So that is a great benefit at eXp. So lastly, we're on finally number 10, and then we're going to wrap this up. You're going to want to set up your sky slope. So to set up sky slope, this is where you're going to do all of your transactions. So you want to have it set up in the beginning, so that way when you actually get a transaction, it might not have to take quite as long setting everything up. You won't have any hiccups. But if you look on your enterprise dashboard for sky slope, you just click on it. And then you're going to see a login and password. Same thing as your enterprise login and password. Click sign in. All right. And then here we go. Now you can see I'm logged in. You can, of course, start putting in a new file inside of here. I'm not going to go into the details about how to create transactions. What I'm going to do instead is tell you that what you're going to want to do is, first off, make sure you can log into it. But then next, you're going to want to see when the next SkySlope Basic and SkySlope Advanced classes are. Typically, like let me look on here. Yep, we've got a SkySlope Basic training on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Central Time. And then I think on Tuesdays, let's go down here to Tuesdays. Yeah, every No, maybe it's not Tuesday. Let's see. Here we go. It's every Monday. So every Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific, we also have a SkySlope Basic. But then also on a Monday is if you've already taken the basic training, you can take the advanced training as well, which is right afterwards, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central. So I highly recommend you getting through both of those. So that way you're very familiar with SkySlope. It is in the eXp University Conference Hall, so just keep that in mind. It is not in the eXp Auditorium. So when you go into the eXpWorld, you're going to go to the University Conference Hall, not the auditorium. It looks like both of these are in there. And then on Wednesday, let's just make sure it's the same thing. Yep, same thing. So there you go. So that's your top 10 things to do once you get started with eXp. I know that seems like a lot, but I promise you, if you get those things knocked out right away, you will feel much more in charge once you get going with eXp. So hope that helps. If you need anything, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me, with anything that you got. I'd love to help you and love to get you going with eXp. Take care. Bye-bye.